Alright, got Duramax back in the shop. This thing is really kicking my butt. I got it jacked up in the rear, and Mike was here for a little bit helping me out. We set this on the ohm meter there, and we're testing the wheel speed sensor to see if it's reading anything, and it sure is. It's moving, it's doing its thing. And I thought the tone ring was messed up in the transfer case because I seen a little burr in it, but I think it was just the way I had the camera. I don't know. Mike looked at it and he was like, no, it looks normal. So, and then pulled the TCM back out, found the rear speed output sensor, and it's these two right here at the end. Those two pins, one there and one there. Oh, my nail's broken. Dang it, I hate when that happens. But it's this purple and green wire right here, and it goes right in there. Ran it in there. We ran 12 volts through the purple wire, and it was getting 12 volts on the back end, and ran 12 volts through the green wire, and it's getting 12 volts through the green wire to the back. And this one here, that's what the wire is for. Yeah, green and purple. And I thought maybe it would be this little pigtail from here to there, because they're mixed right up there. Oh, right here, sorry. Right there, purple and green. But it's getting a reading also, so that's not the problem. But it says rear wheel speed sensor. Why? I'm gonna put the borescope back in here into the sensor hole and see what I can find. Just take another look in there and see what's going on. Maybe put a pick in there and move that sensor. If that tone ring moves, if it moves, then I'm pretty sure that's the problem. But for now, I'm still trying to figure this out. So it's got a rebuilt TCM, a new sensor in the back, checked all the wiring and double checked the wiring. Yeah, I have no idea what it could be. Rear speed output sensor. Yeah, this got sent off and got rebuilt, and they just reprogrammed it, cleared all the codes that were in it, cleared the whole thing, reprogrammed it for my VIN number, and I guess they didn't find anything else. But anyway, that's rebuilt. I don't know what else. So I'm just gonna continue to mess with the wiring, thinking it's the wiring. So I'm gonna keep messing with that and see if that would fix it. So here we go. All right, here we go. So I don't know if you can see it, but if you look in there, that red little dot, you see the mirror moving? But that's the tone ring inside of there, and there's a little tiny burr right in the center of it. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but that's the tone ring, and that is where this rides the center of it. But this is magnetized, so he'll pick up metal from the transfer case. It will pick up metal from the transfer case and just a little bit of metal shavings, and it will ride right here, right on the edge. You'll pick up metal here, and just metal dragging across that tone ring could damage it. And I don't know if that's what's going on with it, or maybe if I just put a new tone ring in there or another transfer case, just to try it out and see if that's the problem. Let me give you guys a rundown on this thing. I picked this up. A buddy of mine was having problems with it. It was shaking really bad, making really bad noise, and the transmission that was in it, it's an ATS trans, you know, the purple stuff, and these little bolts, a couple of these backed out and fell out and got chewed up and eventually got thrown out of there. But I found a couple broken ones here, and they're just kind of in there, and they kind of got chewed up in there. But there was only like 4 of these in there, and the flex plate flywheel thing, it cracked and bent it all up. It bent the whole flex plate because it was like a 2-piece thing. It bent that, and it was shaking really bad, just idling, and lost first and wouldn't come out at third. So I replaced the trans, got a used one because I thought that was the problem. I was for sure that was the problem. So got this out, got a new flex plate, flywheel, whatever you want to call it. There's probably a term out there. And took this one out, put the used transmission that he bought in, and didn't fix the problem. So it was saying code error on valve body, so it wasn't shifting, the valve wasn't shifting inside of the valve body or whatever it was, solenoids and stuff like that. So ordered a new valve body, put a new valve body in it, same exact thing, same problem. So it's okay, stop throwing money at it, it's getting expensive. And he was done with it. He was just like, whatever, I don't want it anymore, blah blah blah. So I ran through, checked all of the wiring, checked all the fuses, checked everything, and still had the problem. Wiring's fine, all the fuses are fine. So I put a new rear speed sensor in it. It's like, oh, maybe that's it. Put this in there, same problem, same exact problem. So somewhere something is wrong. The speedo quit working, but he was still driving it without the speedo working. So maybe in the dash, I don't know, but it shouldn't, because it goes straight from transfer case to TCM. But anyway, threw a new speedo in it, or the sensor, and still has the same problem. Sent the TCM off, got that rebuilt, refurbished, and got it back, same problem. And then me and Mike checked the wiring again just now, and I checked the fuses yesterday. All the fuses are fine, relays are fine, everything's fine. And now I'm just kind of, I really want to know what it is so I can know what is kicking my butt. Yeah, I checked the computer for corrosion in here. I checked all the pins. I checked these pins, like you put a pick in there and push on those pins individually and just watch it on this side. I checked those on both plugs. There's another plug down there, this one. So you put a pick in there, push down, if that moves then it's a bad connection. That was fine. When I did get the computer back, it was reading the gauge backwards and still the same problem, but it didn't kick the code of lost communication with TCM. And then eventually came back on because I'm thinking it's the wiring, but I'm not 100% sure. I checked the ground there, I checked the ground here, cleaned it all up. I checked all the grounds, everything, and even on the motor grounds, chassis grounds, to motor, all these grounds, checked them all, and can't figure it out. So I think the next step would be either throw a transfer case in it or a tone ring, and if that doesn't fix it, then next step would be to pull the whole wiring harness out and just go through the whole harness and figure out if there's a pinched wire, broke wire, or something. Or I could spend $2,000 on a new valve body and a new TCM and a new wiring harness for the 6-speed, because this is a 6-speed. It's 5-speed in the truck, but the extra gear is still in there. But you can program them. You can buy a kit from ATS. You can buy the valve body and the computer to make it a 6-speed, and that comes with new computer, new wiring, new valve body, and then it'll be 6-speed. Because I don't know why they didn't do that from the beginning, but I don't know. Now I'm rambling. I don't know what to do. If you guys know, then leave a comment. That's everything I checked. What else? Not sure. I'll continue messing with this and see if I can figure something out. If I figure it out, I will put it in the video somewhere. I'll be happy. But for now, I'm not happy. Okay, bye. Okay, it's the next day. I'm not gonna give up on this thing. I got a transfer case I picked up from R&B 4x4, Mike Nappy. It worked when it got pulled out. I'm gonna put that in, and if that doesn't fix the problem, I'll take that back out, put that one back in, and then keep on fighting it. But that's all I can do, right? Just keep trying, I guess. So come with me while I put a transfer case in this thing. There we go. Dump box. So last night I didn't record any of this, but I tore apart the whole dash, instrument panel, all of this, pulled it all out, looked at every single wire under here. The only thing I found was a wire back here was kind of rubbing against this metal, and it rubbed through, but it didn't fix anything. So I am gonna try this transfer case, and I have high hopes for it. It's gonna work. It is gonna work. It's gonna be awesome. So what I gotta do is get a transmission jack, put it on the oil pan here with the 2x4 or whatever, pick that up, pull this cross member out, which is four bolts, 2 here and 2 over there, and these 2 bolts, and then drop this out of the way, pull the front drive line, pull the rear drive line, and then unhook all the wires from it. And I think it's just that speed sensor and the full drive motor. Pull that, just the harness, the plug, and then go around and pull the 6 bolts, pull the T-case off. It's gonna be a mess around because this I can't get out, it's welded in there. So you'll have to slide back, turn it, then drop it down nice and easy on the ground, and probably remove this cable so I don't break it, the shift cable. Yeah, remove that because it's connected right here anyway to the little bracket. But anyway, get that transfer case out, put the other one in, and hopefully it solves all my problems. And I'm pretty sure it is. It's everything else I've done. So here we go. Alright, got the cross member out, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Got the trans mount off of the transmission, and got all 6 bolts out. I got the front and rear drive line out. I unhooked the harness. There was that one and the rear speed sensor, which is this one, and I just kind of got it tucked up in the frame, but it's loose now, so I should be able to get this thing out of here. So I will try to set up this camera somewhere so you guys can laugh at me. I'm gonna clean that oil up so I'm not laying in it. There we go. I'll still lay in it, but you know what I mean. And I got a pry bar right here. These tools, and I guess set the camera up right there. All right, that came out pretty easy. There it is. So for the real test, I'm gonna set up here on the bench, take a look at that sensor, see what that thing looks like. I'm gonna pull that sensor out and that tone ring in there. You know. Heavy. Oh yeah. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. So let's see if you guys can see this. There is the tone ring. So if you look hard enough, sorry, trying to figure out how I can hold this light, and so if you look hard enough, right there, can you hear that? Watch. I'm going all the way across the gears. Kind of chewed up right there in the center. So I'm thinking, this was my guess. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but you can pull all these bolts out, and there's a clip in here behind this rubber piece, a C-clip. Pop that loose, and then this cover comes off, and pull a C-clip. You can pull, there's a bearing here, there's a bearing here, and then that tone ring. You can pull the C-clip all the way off, pull that bearing off, slide that tone ring off, put a new one on it, put the bearing back on, you know, the whole thing. And then, yeah, if this fixes my problem, then I will order a tone ring, and hopefully that's all I need. So I feel pretty good about this. So I'm gonna go down, clean the gasket off of the transmission, and put her back together, and we'll go from there. Anyways, let me get everything situated and I'll get back to you. My wife bought me this cool magnet mount. You just tie it onto your GoPro, or clip it onto your GoPro, and it's magnetized. Guess what? It's at home. So you guys gotta bear with me. There you go. Brake clean it, silicone it, put it back together. Got transfer case back in, got the old one out, dumped some oil in it, and I couldn't find an 80/90 little nipple thing that goes on the end of the bottle to spray in the, so I used this and it was a joke, but it worked. So I got oil in it. I used the Top Don to clear codes, and I got all the codes cleared. I got all the codes cleared, and look at that. That's a plus. That didn't come back on. It's the brake and the ABS sensor light, whatever it is. So I cleared the codes with that machine, and I'm gonna back it out and test drive it. That is a really good sign. So it didn't come back on, so that's a plus, right? That means I'm winning. So I totally forgot about this inner fender. It'd be okay for a test drive. It's got a bolt in it right there, so it'd be all right for a test drive. So I'm gonna go test drive it and see how it does. I will get back to you guys, so hang tight. Look at that, speedometer is working. And I am going 55, and it shifted through all the gears. How cool is that? I fixed it. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I'm driving.